his new hour out, which is exciting because his new special came out there recently, which I watched. I think I talked about it. Oh, actually, speaking of specials, I seen that Ellen DeGeneres is releasing her last ever comedy special, where she talks about being a bitch to her employees and being a drama queen and whatever it was. I didn't. Hello, welcome back to Al Talks. This podcast I started 3 years ago to chronicle me starting stand up. This podcast is a weekly podcast. It comes out once a week, and this is just a small little introduction video into the podcast. So down below in the description of each episode, you can go to my Linktree and find links to everything connected to me. This podcast is available on YouTube, which you're watching it on right now, and also on Spotify. But yeah, that is just a small introduction into this podcast and everything that goes along with it. Hello, welcome back to the podcast for another episode, which, like I said in the previous one, is late, but trying to catch up. Been busy. Did I remove some settings from this? I don't know. It looks like there should be more. Okay. Hold on. Okay, don't know what that was. Everything back to normal. The camera's a bit fuzzy. Hello. Okay, the computer's not happy. I've recorded a second episode shortly after the first one, so the computer's like, oh, hell to the no. So I think video might be a little bit weird for a minute, but we shall see. Anyway, so yeah, this episode, like I said, a bit of a late one, but as they say, better late than never. In this episode, I want to talk about going down to the Cheeky Monkey to do an open mic spot, work on some new material. The new material went down really well. It was a great. Actually went over time as well. Didn't really mean to. My bad. I'm not a big fan of going over time when I'm doing spots because you're not supposed to. But it was just, to be honest, I don't know. We could let it run away for me. But the new material worked out really, really well, which I'm happy with. Because it doesn't always. But it was a great show. I went down to Comedy Crunch as well. If you don't know what Comedy Crunch is, it is a comedy club up in Dublin in the basement of Stag's Head in the Temple Bar area. And what was I going to say? Yeah, so it's in the Stag's Head. Bill Burr performed like a secret, well, not a secret spot, but kind of a just popped on one time there years and years ago. That's what it's kind of famous for. But it's a gig run by two comedians, Danny O'Brien and Colin McLishky, who are great comedians, very fun people to hang out with as well. I've only met them a handful of times, and it's only been recent. I've only been to the Comedy Crunch 2 or 3 times. I have been asked to submit a clip for there, so I could be performing there soon. I still haven't submitted that clip. Probably should do that, but yeah, it'll be a great club to perform in because it's a really fun room. So like I said, Cheeky Monkey was great. Because at that stage it's been 2 months since I've performed any sort of comedy, so it was great to come out, do a spot, stretch out the old comedy legs. What the hell is that? It's not raining, no. I don't want it to rain. Because it's been quite sunny the last couple of days, which has been great. Well, not really, because I've been stuck in work sweating, but anyway. So yeah, back to the funny stuff. So yeah, the new material was, I think the only thing that was old material was a new opening bit that I'm trying to perfect. So other than that, and there's a kind of the very last joke I did. I might need to restructure it. It's a history based one, and somewhat an obscure history-based one. I thought some people might know it, but guess not. There is a comedian who's also a history lecturer, so I might tell him about that joke, see what he thinks. And lost my train of thought looking out the window. Yeah, so did the Cheeky Monkey open mic and then went to the Comedy Crunch. Great comedians on. We had Nehemiah, Sinead Walsh, and Johnny Camden. I met Johnny years and years ago when I was first starting out. Johnny he writes for EastEnders over in the UK. It's I suppose not a sitcom. It's there's no comedy in what do you call it? It's like Emmerdale, Coronation Street, those sort of TV shows like Fear City and all that. So he writes for them and stuff. So it's a great comedian. It's been his long career in comedy. I think it's over 20 years, probably nearly 30 years at this stage. He in the show there was like 3 young people, and then like they looked really young. The oldest person said she was 25 or 26, and you're like, no, you're not. And Johnny was like, no, you're not. So like there was a great crowd interaction with them. It was, you know, I was the first time I seen Johnny perform on stage, it was just completely blown away, because like I said, I met him in my early I was gonna say career. It's not really a career, but like in the early days of me starting to stand up, and it was great to see, like, you know, like a headlining multinational level professional, because Johnny has performed all over Europe and all over the world, you know. So, and it was fantastic to see. It was just like the same show pretty much as the first time I seen him. You know, his material is great. And then the crowd work was fantastic, and crowd interaction. It was just, he had us all laughing. It was very, very good. Comedy Crunches usually is always packed every single night. It's a great club and really good atmosphere. And we were heading out after the show as well, having a couple of laughs. It was a good night. I got to perform, got to watch some comedy. That's all. Like, if every night for me performing comedy would be like that would be great. It really would be. I think the other best time I got, like, was a similar situation, was like I did the Cheeky Monkey, and then I went upstairs, did circle sessions, did 2 mics, and then I went to see the Comedy Crunch, and I went to see a show, and I was chatting to the comedians there. I was like, oh, I did 2 open mics already, and they were like, how? I'm like, it's 9 o'clock. I'm like, play hard, work harder. You know, so that is that. I'm gonna finish it up there because I do have to edit these and put it out. Someone has to, and that someone is me. But yeah, so that's pretty much coming up news wise. I'll be going to see Sam Morrill work his new hour out, which is exciting because his new special came out there recently, which I watched. I think I talked about it. Oh, actually, speaking of specials, I seen that Ellen DeGeneres has released her last ever comedy special, where she talks about being a bitch to her employees and being a drama queen and whatever it was. I didn't really follow that stuff much, but yeah, she was not a nice person to work for, and very demanding, and made a lot of people's lives miserable. And so that's what she's going to talk about, her last ever comedy special. It was like, okay. I never really watch Ellen DeGeneres comedy. I just seen it pop up on Netflix. It's like, coming up. It's like, okay, fantastic. Well, I won't be fucking watching that. So that is that in terms of news. But yeah, really excited to see a Samra live. As I said, I always listen to We Might Be Drunk podcast. I've actually listened to what I'll be listening to today, the latest episode with Joe List and his wife Sarah. Yeah, like I met Mark Norman a couple of years ago, so it'd be great to see Sam. Very, very funny comedian. work on his new hour, and it's in a great venue as well, the Olympia Theatre. Well, 3 Olympia Theatre because they bought it. It's strange when companies do that, like especially like telecom companies or like the Kia Forum out in LA. It's like, okay, well, why? I know why they're doing advertisement and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. So that is that, and that is pretty much all the news coming up that I can think of. I'm not sure about any gigs because, like I said, I'm fairly busy in work. A lot of people have gotten holidays, and I have to work extra hours, which is not fun. It is very exhausting, but you have to make money somehow. And just on another side note, thank you for all the people who have recently joined the channel, as well as the OGs who've been there from the start. The channel is growing at an exponential rate that has never grown before, so more and more people are tuning into this content. I thank you for that. It is helping me in a big way towards the goal of getting ad monetization and stuff like that, so I'll be able to make money off this, because I've poured a lot of work and effort and crying and a lot of other things into this over the years, because it has been years. Like at this stage, this will be episode 176. We're nearly at 200 episodes, in 24 weeks time. I'm always trying to make new series, bring up more content and stuff, fix audio gremlin issues. I hope these 2 last episodes, the audio has been great, because I don't know what's going on. I really don't. I thought I had it figured out, but I don't. So I'm going to stop talking now, because I have to go and do work on this and other stuff. So yeah, so I'm going to be seeing Sam Burrell live in a couple of weeks. I think it's on the 22nd of September, 22nd, 24th, I can't remember. It's a Tuesday. I'll have a look actually on my calendar here. What day? Come on, calendar. Yeah, it's 24th to Tuesday. So I'll be seeing that, and I'll give my review of seeing him live. He's going to be in Ireland. He said he's going to have 2 days, like a day off in Ireland. It'd be cool if I bump into him in the street. It'd be great. But other than that, I think that's about it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for all the support over the years and into the future. Let's make me famous, people. Because I could really use the money. But yeah, as per usual, the links down below to everything. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And see you all next week. Bye bye.